sweatshirt. On my last video, I told you that I got these from Etsy. So I got two of them. This one says book travert. The other one says book hangover, with like the definition of what a book hangover really is. The inability to back to everyday life after finishing a good book, and we've all been there. And I feel like I could be in a month hangover from these books that I've read this month. I read 8 books this month, and I had a really good month because these books that I got and the books that I've read and chose to read for October have been really good reads. I don't think everything is like a 3.5 to 4.75 stars, and we'll go over them. First thing I read, Housemaid Secret. I read The Housemaid, and I was in love with it. Was that my first? That might be my first Frida McFadden book that I read, and then it just went from there because I just love her writing like so many other people do. Short chapters, cliffhangers at the end of every single chapter. You have no choice but to keep flipping and flipping and just get through them so fast. They always have twists and turns. Sometimes you guess, and I don't think I've ever been right on what I thought was going to happen, what the plot twist was going to be. And there's always multiple plot twists too. So this one was really good. It follows Millie from the last one, and she's up to her same shenanigans she was up to in the last one. But to me, I don't know. I feel like this one was better than the first one. I don't know. It's the same, like, same kind of plot line. She's up to the same stuff. I can't really obviously tell you what she's up to if you've never read The Housemaid, and I don't want to spoil it for anybody. That's the worst. Let me just read the back. It's hard to find an employer who doesn't ask too many questions about my past. So I thank my lucky stars that the Garretts miraculously gave me a job, cleaning their stunning penthouse with views across the city and preparing fancy meals in their shiny kitchen. I can work here for a while, stay quiet until I get what I want. It's almost perfect. But I still haven't met Mrs. Garrett or seen inside the guest bedroom, but I sure hear her crying. I notice spots of blood around her neck on her white nightgowns when I'm doing laundry. And one day I can't help but knock on the door. When it gently swings open, what I see changes everything. That's when I make a promise. After all, I've done this before. I can protect Mrs. Garrett while keeping my own secret locked up safe. Douglas Garrett has done wrong, and he's going to pay. It's simply a question of how far I'm willing to go. That alone should let you know that it's suspenseful. It is just, I don't know. I like this way more than I did The Housemaid. And I love The Housemaid. So I think I gave 4.5 stars too. This was a good one. Please check it out. If you're in the mood for like a just really quick thriller, I think I got through this in like a day or two. All of her books you can get through in like a day or two. Like if you have nothing to do that day and your day is dedicated to reading, read a Frida McFadden book. You will get through it in a day or two. Next, this month I read Twisted Love. This is part of a 4-book series. Is it 4 books? A 4-book series. And there's a group of friends in here, a group of girlfriends, and it's 4 of them. Each book follows each friend. So this one is Ava. This is Ava and Alex's story. So I'm assuming this is considered dark romance just because, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong or explain it to me. I believe the dark romance is like when it's just like a character that's, to me, all the dark romances that I'll read, like the synopsis on Goodreads or whatever, it seems like it's just an a-hole guy and just like a really submissive, like giving 50 Shades of Grey type romance, I guess. So to let you know, this is a spicy book, just to let you know. So if you don't like spicy, don't do it. Alex Volkov is a devil blessed with the face of an angel and cursed with a past he can't escape. Driven by a tragedy that's haunted him for most of his life, his ruthless pursuits for success and vengeance leave room for little matters of the heart. But when he's forced to look after his best friend's sister, he starts to feel something at his chest. A crack, a melt, a fire that could end his world as he knows it. Ava Chen is a free-spirited trapped by nightmares of a childhood she can't remember. But despite her broken past, she's never stopped seeing the beauty in the world, including the heart beneath the icy exterior of a man she shouldn't want. Her brother's best friend, her neighbor, her savior, and her downfall. Theirs is a love that was never supposed to happen, but when it does, it unleashes secrets that could destroy them both and everything they hold dear. So tropes in this is brother's best friend, kind of forced proximity, I would believe, because they're neighbors. It's a whole lot. This book, I think I rated a 3.5. Not a bad rating, but it definitely kept me flipping. It kept me wanting to get to the end to see like what's going on because they both have troubled pasts and then those paths kind of collide with each other, and then they're just trying to figure it all out. They shouldn't be together. The brother doesn't know. They're trying to keep it a secret, obviously, because it's brother's best friend. Who wants that? And it's a ride. I tell you that. It's very spicy. It's a ride. I want to try to get through this series. This, well, not the end of the year. It's almost the end of the year now. Soon. I have the second book. I don't have the other two. I want to get through two books first. With series, I try to get like the first two. If I'm feeling it, then I'll go ahead and get the whole series. I'm not going to buy a whole series at once, because what if I don't even like it? What if the first book was like a movie? The first movie's always great, but then the sequel's like, hmm. So I don't know. So I'm gonna read the second book, see if I feel the same way, and then if I like that one as well, I'll go ahead and get the other two. Then I read Real. Kennedy Ryan, we need to have a chat, ma'am. This book, like, it is so genius. I don't know if any of you guys have read the Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. So, I mean, is that like a super great book? To me, it was. I believe I rated that one 5 stars, just because of the creativity in it. This is a fictitious movie star, basically. And Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo was a fictitious movie star, and all of her husbands, and the life and the loves that she's had. This one is similar to that to me, but nothing to do with husbands, nothing like that. Similar in the way that you made something so fictitious feel so real. Real. That's different real stuff. But anyway, it follows Neva and Cannon. So Neva is a aspiring star. She's on Broadway, but she's an understudy. So the main female, character in this play goes on vacation. So as the understudy, she takes over. So she takes over for a week. One of the nights, she blows it out of the water. One of the nights of her show, this famous director, Cannon, is in the audience, and he sees her. He's wowed by her. He thinks she's beautiful. He's making a movie at the time, so she basically fits the part for his movie. And he's like, I gotta have her. So not knowing like that they were gonna kind of, well, you kind of know that that's gonna happen. They're gonna, connect some kind of way. Not a good look, because obviously this is her boss, shouldn't be doing it, but they do it anyway. But what makes this book different, where I compared it to the Taylor Jenkins Reid novel, is that in this story, the movie that Cannon is making, they have the script in this book as well. So it's almost as if you get two for the price of one. So you're reading Real, but you're reading a story about a fictitious movie jazz singer from the South named Desi Blue. So while they're going over the scripts, like in the like there's chapters that's just the script. So you're reading the script. So now you're into both stories. You want to hear about Neva and Cannon, but you want to know about Cal and Desi Blue's love story. It is amazing. It is so different. This book intimidated me because it's thick and it's long, but oh my God, I went through this so fast. It is so good. So good. If you are a Kennedy Ryan fan, you already know it's got spice in it too. But if you're a Kennedy Ryan fan, please get this book and read this book. I want to get a lot of her. I have the Kingmaker and the Rebel King that I want to get into. It's a little bit different, so I might just kind of push that a little bit, just because I'm like a romance thriller person. Sometimes when I step out of my box a little too much, I'm kind of intimidated by it, because I don't know. Like, am I gonna like it? I don't know. I know I'm safe with a thriller. I know I'm safe with romance, but this one is awesome. This book, I basically I think I gave it 4.75 stars. The only reason I took off that 0.25 is simply because of how it ended. It basically, it kind of, it kind of leaves you hanging a little bit with their relationship. So, but Kennedy Ryan Smart, she knew she did that, because that's why at the end of the book, it basically tells you, for the extended epilogue to log onto her website, and they'll send it to you. So it ends well, but it still's like, wait, what? So yeah. So needless to say, I logged right on, and I'm still waiting on my epilogue, Miss Kennedy Ryan. So yeah, so that's that one. Well, next physical book that I have is The Great Undoing Daisy Haites, the fourth book in the Magnolia Park universe series. First off, this book took me way too long to read. I was pushing this book off so long just because the fifth one comes out in February. So I didn't want to have that gap where I was like nothing. And because this book sucks you in and you do get addicted. But going into this, if you've never read any of these books and you want to read them, I'm going to tell you first off, there is no plot to these books. Not one plot. There's just drama. You know how like a reality show, you're literally just following these people's lives. Like they're celebrities, but they're not celebrities, but you're just watching their life unfold. You're watching their drama, their love lives, their friendships, where they go, what they do, what they wear. Like that's all you're doing in this book. Nothing. There's no plot. So I think it's really creative the way these books are written, though, just because the first two books and the last two books basically follow the same timeline. So everything that's happening in the first book is happening in the second book, but it's from different point of views. First book is Magnolia and BJ. Second book is Daisy, Christian, and Julian, and they live two different separate. They live separate lives. They're not all in the same crew. There's the box set, which is Magnolia Parks and all of her friends, and then there's the Lost Boys and Daisy, which is their group. Daisy and her crew, basically, they're gang lords. They're art thieves. And Magnolia and BJ are just Magnolia and BJ. The only way I can kind of compare them is like the Kardashians. Like they're not known for anything. They weren't like singers or actresses or anything like that, but we know who the Kardashians are and we watch the reality show, some do. And we just follow their lives. But like in a reality show, there's no plot. This is what this is. This is so toxic. It's so much drama. None of these people should be together. No one should aspire to have relationships like these people do, but yet it's entertaining and I eat it up every time. So go in if you just want to read about drama. There's so much dialogue in it, though. The whole book is just basically conversation. So you feel like you're right there witnessing the foolishness that they're going through. So definitely a good one. This whole series right now, I'm going to give 4.5 stars just because it's entertaining. It's written like no other author you probably read before, just because I don't know. I don't even know how to explain this. You just have to go in it knowing, like, don't expect anything you've ever read. It's not a love story. It's not written like there were so many typos in that I had to read sentences 3 or 4 times. But Jessa Hastings is still genius for how she wrote the book with the timelines and the people. Like it's just read it. I don't even know how to explain it. So Kindle. I read 4 books. I think all the books I read on my Kindle were thrillers. So I read The Wife Before. That was just a free one that I stumbled upon, just scrolling through like free books, three free thrillers on the Kindle. And this is about an ex golf player that he basically was accused of his wife's murder. So he was like shunned from everything, lost all his contracts or whatever. He meets this girl and she doesn't even know him. She doesn't follow golf. She doesn't know anybody but Tiger Woods. That's all she knows. She doesn't know anything about this man, nothing that he's been through, none of the drama, none of the scandal. And they form a relationship. They get together. She finds out basically that what happened. Her brothers wanted her like, I don't know about this guy. Do you know him? Do you know what he was accused of? And she's like, no, he loves me. He takes care of me. He gets me anything I want. He says I don't have to work. And she was kind of like struggling and everything with jobs and things like that. So of course, somebody comes and saves her. She's going in. So in the house, she basically finds all these journals that the previous wife wrote. So basically, you're going through their story and you're going through all the journals and the journal entries that the wife wrote to kind of say, like, what really happened to her. So that was really good to just kind of flip through and just see what would actually happen. So I love a thriller that's like that, that it keeps you guessing. Every other page, you're like, yeah, he did it. Then you're like, no, he couldn't have done it. Yeah, he did it. I know he's guilty. Like it just felt like OJ, basically. I don't know. But that was a really good one. I think I gave that 3 or 3.5 stars. Then I read Never Lie, Frida McFadden. That I believe I gave 5 stars to, honestly. Think I want to say either 4.5 or 5. Honestly, I really think that was one of my favorite books by her. I love The Housemaid Secret, but Never Lie was really, really good. So basically, there's a couple that's looking for a new home, newly married. I think they were married like 6 months, and they have a showing, but it starts to snow really bad, and it's a blizzard. It's a whiteout. Um, of course, the house is unlocked. So, and the realtor's nowhere to be found because there's a snowstorm. So, what do? They stay in this house. House is creepy. It's weird. She finds out basically that this is the a psychologist that went missing not too long ago, never found her body, never found out what happened to her. This is her home that's put on the market that they're in. So, needless to say, she finds all of these tapes from the psychologist that lived there, her patients. So it's creeping her out. She's listening to all these things. She's trying to figure it out. It makes her kind of figure out, like, maybe she's going to find out something that can contribute to what actually happened to the psychologist. Um, and then you just go through that journey like you go with Frida McFadden any time of the day. Like you just always are going to be just flipping. You don't know where it's going. So many plot twists, so many turns, so entertaining. Then I read, I think I read another Frida McFadden. I read Do Not Disturb. Basically, not a spoiler because it says it literally the first line. She kills her husband. She's on the run. She's out of there. She doesn't want any parts of this. She's just going to flee. So she flees, but again, like in Never Lie, there's another snowstorm. So she's about to get stuck. So she pulls over to this like hole in the wall motel, really shabby, really just dilapidated, and just she shouldn't be staying there, but she's like, where else am I gonna go? It's a blizzard. So she stays there. Nobody else is staying in this hotel. Everybody's creepy. Nobody's really staying there, but it's this one creepy lady, the owner, and his wife that peeks out of a window of a house. It's giving real like psycho Norman Bates type of vibe. But yeah, so you just gotta see what happens to her. So yeah, she's on the run from murder. She's staying at this creepy hotel. Like it's just so hard to explain some of these Frida McFadden books or any book for that matter, just because they're so detailed. You just got to read it. That one was a good one too. I think I gave that 3.5 stars. And then I read Hidden Pictures. That was a creepy one. I'm not even gonna lie. That was a very, very creepy book. So that follows Mallory. Basically, she's a recovering drug addict. She gets a job as a nanny for a family for a little boy named Teddy. Teddy is very artistic. He draws a lot of pictures, but then she starts noticing like he draws like normal pictures like any other 5 year old. But then his pictures start to get a little weird. I'm gonna actually link probably some pictures. Just it's not a spoiler because you'll see them for yourself. But I just want you to see where I was coming from. They start off like normal pictures. I'm like, oh okay, this is cute, normal 5 year old little bunny rabbit, little balloon or whatever. But pictures start getting weird after a while. And at one point, I had to close this book and be like, "What am I reading? Like, this is not okay." Like, it gave me like Conjuring vibes, Annabelle vibes, like spirits and stuff like that. And I'm really weird about stuff like that. I really do believe that like some things like that can kind of get not get in you, well, get in you, and I'm just weird about that kind of stuff around me. So I had to close the book, pray about it, and then keep going because the story is really, really good. And you really want to know where this is going. Like it's a page turner. I could not put it down, except for that one time where I had to take a break and think about it. But yeah, the pictures get very creepy. And if you keep reading though, you realize that they're telling a story. And then you have to know what the story is because you want to know what happened. You want to know why this boy knows how to draw, why his drawings are changing, how they're changing, and what's making all this happen. So that was definitely a good one. I think I gave that one a 3.5 as well. Like I said, it was a very, very good reading month. Those are the books I read. I just want to take the time out right now just to say thank you for the new subscribers that I've gotten in the last week. I really appreciate it. I just do this for fun. I love books. I like to share what I'm reading. I like to watch what you're reading on your YouTube channels. This is where it all started. Basically, I was just watching so many people, so many booktubers, and they're the reason I have this ridiculous book collection. So why not be a part of making you have a ridiculous book collection? So hope you like the books that I read this month. I was gonna do like a November TBR, but I don't know what I'm going to read yet because yesterday I thought I was going to read something sad. And then today I woke up and was like, I don't even really feel like reading today. I think I'm just going to kind of be productive, chill out, binge watch some shows. But again, thank you. And still make sure you like, subscribe to my channel, share with your friends, comment below anything you want to tell me about these books or anything you think I should read that you think I like by obviously you can kind of see my taste. I'm open for suggestions, and I just want to say a big thank you to everybody.